The elevators went to the basement. Every indicator in Chapel Ward showed the same impassable descent. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. B. Then nothing. The hospital held its breath. Not silence. Silence was empty. This was waiting. Helena wiped blood from her cheek with the back of her wrist. The motion left a red line under one eye, like a second mark of office.
What is in the basement?
Elias thought of the dispatch center, the pinned shambler, the dead monitors, the phones ringing all at once.
Bad beginnings.
Laura, who had spent 6 hours being brave past any reasonable warranty, whispered.
Morgue access is basement.
Nobody liked that.
I was hoping basement meant laundry.
Laundry does not make elevators descend in unison.
It might if the towels were evil.
Focus your imagination somewhere useful.
The radio came alive with Director Sloane's voice from Bellwether Museum.
Chapel Ward, your beacon is fluctuating. Do you require evacuation?
Helena stared at the radio.
Convenient timings.
We can dispatch a retrieval team at dawn if you transfer the blessed participant under council authority.
We are under siege.
So are we, yet our walls hold.
Elias took the radio before Helena could turn diplomacy into a weapon.
Director, are your elevators moving?
A pause.
We do not have elevators.
Lucky.
He cut the channel. The first impact came from below. Not at a door. Under the floor. The chapel tiles jumped. Noah cried. The safe zone boundary flared downward, and Elias understood. They had defended walls, doors, vents, corridors. The siege mind had gone under.
Basement breach through utility shafts.
Helena shouted orders. People moved to lift Noah and the wounded onto pews and tables. Priya dragged every remaining water container toward the center aisle. Lewis and Owen shoved broken furniture away from the cracks. Mara stood over the largest trembling section of floor with both hands lit.
Tell me the floor is not becoming a mouth again.
Different mouths.
Unhelpful taxonomy.
Priya flooded the floor with water, then froze it into a thick sheet. The ice spread from her palms in branching lines, locking loose tiles together. It bought them 6 minutes. 6 minutes became civilization. They moved June and Noah onto the altar platform. Dorothy tied 2 wounded guards to pews so they could not roll off if the floor bucked. Tyler handed out blankets, then realized he had become logistics and looked offended by his own competence. At 1:02 a.m., black roots pierced the chapel floor. They were not roots. They were bundled cables, veins, and hospital tubing braided together around fragments of bone.
Sage Road. Threat level 4.
The roots drank the golden light. Not absorbed. Drank. The safe zone dimmed around every tendril they touched. Mara burned them. They burned, but slowly. Lewis smashed them. They split and regrew. Priya froze them. The ice turned gray from the inside. Battle Red opened hard enough to make Elias' vision ache.
Root function, boundary siphon. Primary breach, central tile fracture. Secondary breaches forming, 3. Projected hold time, unacceptable. Largest crack, we seal that first.
He loaded a stored action with a heavy oxygen cylinder, a hard shove toward the largest crack. Owen helped position it over the breach. Kay saw the cylinder and closed her eyes for 1 patient second.
You are not making another explosion.
Controlled compression.
That is explosion's cousin.
Less dramatic branch of the family.
I hate your families.
The floor split wider. Black tubing pushed up through the crack and opened small mouths along its length. Every mouth whispered in Grant's voice.
Below. Below. Below.
The real Grant, still under guard near the rear pews, covered his ears and shook.
It is not me.
Kay did not look at him.
As we know,
That was mercy from Kay. Brief, unadorned, enough.
Now,
He released. The oxygen cylinder drove downward into the crack and wedged there. Priya froze water around it in a thick collar. Mara heated the metal until it glowed dull red. The sudden temperature stress shattered the root mass around the breach. The chapel floor bucked. Lewis slammed both fists down on either side of the cylinder. The broken root bundle tore like wet rope.
siege root severed.
The chapel cheered. It was a small cheer. Exhausted, desperate, beautiful anyway. Then 3 more cracks opened. One under the north pews. One near the confessional hatch. One directly beneath the aisle leading to June. Battle Red gave Elias the conclusion before hope could form. They could not hold every breach. Not from here. The siege mind was not trying to win one attack. It was making them spend everything in different directions until one direction became empty. Noah cried harder. The Dawnheart glow gathered around him, then thinned toward the floor as the roots drank from below.
can it reach him?
He wanted to lie. The system did not give him time.
Dawnheart exposure risk rising. Source pressure below refuge. Recommended action, sever root origin.
Helena read the same message.
Basement. Of course, basement.
Kay tightened the bandage on her forearm.
I am going to hate this plan, aren't I?
Elias looked at the floor as the hospital tried to grow teeth through it.
I already do.
Another root burst through the ice. Tyler stepped forward before anyone ordered him to and drove his curtain rod spear through the mouth opening along its side. The root recoiled.
I did that.
Do it again.
He did. The chapel moved around him. Not calmly, not confidently, but with rhythm. Lewis held the central breach. Priya froze collars around the cracks. Mara burned anything that pushed high enough to bite. Dorothy and June moved Noah behind the altar rail where the gold light still held strongest. Elias watched the pattern. Every root pulse came after a tremor from below. Every tremor came from the same direction. West side, basement level, old dispatch center, bad beginnings.
The source is under dispatch.
Naturally, your trauma has a basement address.
Good news, it is specific.
That is not the category of news I requested. Who goes?
No one answered immediately. No one wanted to go to the basement. That was how Elias knew the plan had merit. The chapel could hold against roots for maybe an hour. Less if the siege mind found the water pipes. Less if Noah's crying weakened June. Less if frightened people became less reliable than furniture. Elias looked at the elevator indicators. All of them still showed B. Waiting.
We cut the source.
Below them, the hospital knocked back.